Hi and welcome. I'm Lisa. Thanks for joining me. Today it's all about clear cards. I'm using a few new products from Whimsy Stamps, the Make-A-Wish die set, and Eat Cake 6x6 paper pack. Now I'll be using a few other products. I'll touch on those throughout the video. And I did some die cutting off screen to save some time. Using one of the pattern papers, I die cut the whole cake out twice because I'm doing two cards. Now I want it to look like each tier is a different flavor, and that's why I used the pattern paper. I decided to keep all the frosting since I have the cake in different colors. Now I do want to add some dimension to each layer. So what I did was the frosting for the bottom tier, I die cut that once, used liquid adhesive to adhere it directly to the cake. On the second tier, I die cut the frosting two times. I need to build that layer up so it lays flat across the bottom tier's frosting. I did need to trim the drips off, so I just took a pencil, added some tick marks, and then trimmed those drips off. I glued the two pieces together and then added it to the cake. I'm going to repeat that for the top tier. I cut 3 layers. 2 will be trimmed down, allowing me to build this layer up. Now this technique really does keep each layer laying flat on the one directly below. It adds dimension that I love, and it does give us some sturdiness. It's a good alternative to mounting foam. A lot of times you'll see me using mounting foam to add dimension, but this is a great way to skip the mounting foam and just use your scrap paper. Now for the cake plate, I have 3 layers. I just trimmed around where the drips would be so that that bottom plate would lay flat, and then I built up from there. I did want to add a fun touch to this, so I grabbed that random polka dot from the micro pattern stamp set to create a fun little design on my cake plate. And then I'm using liquid adhesive to go ahead and adhere these to the bottom of the cake. And we'll set those aside so that we can work on the rest of the card. Now I die cut a total of 4 frames from the Shaker Maker rectangle die set. I'm going to stamp those with that random polka dot stamp from the micro pattern set. I wanted it to match the cake plate. And for my clear card bases, I took one 12 by 12 piece of graphics crystal clear acetate, cut and scored it to create 2 A2 size cards. I'm adding double-sided adhesive to the back of the frames, and I'll center those on the front of each of the cards. Once we have those centered on the cards, we need to cover the back side of this frame so that the adhesive doesn't show through. So I'm going to add double-sided tape to the second die cut frame and adhere that to the inside of the card to cover the back side of that first frame. Anytime we add something to this card, because it is clear, we need to go in and add a back to it. And we're going to do the same thing with the cake as well. So I have added my double-sided tape. I'm going to go ahead, line these up nice and neat. Make sure you keep them nice and neat and straight so you don't see it through the front side. Now I added double-sided adhesive to the back of the cake, centered it up. We're going to cover the back side of it with just a plain white die cut cake. And I've die cut 3 of these cakes out of white cardstock. I want one to cover the back side of this, and then I want one on the inside so that I can have somewhere to write a little message. And then I need one to cover the back side of that one as well. So I'm going to show you a quick tip for placing the one on the inside of the card. If you just flip the whole card over, place that one first because you already have the cake in the center. You can see it. It's easy to line it up. Then lining the one up on the inside is super simple because you have the one on the back to line it up to. Takes all the guesswork out of it for you. Now we have everything nice and neat. You don't see any adhesive through our acetate, which is awesome. We don't want to see that. And here's the finished card. I did want to let you know that I stamped my sentiments from the Simple Sentiment stamp set, and I die cut those with the Simple Sentiment strip die set. Let me know what you think about the cards in the comments below. I love reading your comments and interacting with you all. For more information on the products I used, you can head over to the Whimsy Stamps website. I have everything linked directly below for you. Please know how much we appreciate you taking the time to join us here. And until next time, take care.